Hey everybody, and welcome to the Wayward Stories YouTube channel. Today I am going to be giving you a review on the Leatherman Wave multi-tool. Now, I'm pretty sure there's probably been the better part of 1 million review videos done on the multi-tool, this multi-tool in particular. But I'm going to throw my hat in the ring because more so than really line out for you what this thing has on it, I'm going to kind of give my testimony of it, but in order for this to be a complete review, I am going to show you everything about it. And we'll do that first and do that quickly so we can get to me just blabbering on basically about this particular tool, how long I've had it, what I've done with it. And the reason I decided to go ahead and make a video like this was to give it this testimony because it's been through a lot for a long time and it's still kicking and basically still looks new, honestly. So yeah. We're going to do that real quick. Let's get started on just going over the basics of it real quick first. Sure, everyone is familiar with a good old-fashioned multi-tool. This is the Leatherman Wave, as you'll notice, not the Wave Plus. Basically, let's go over this real quick, and I'll just show you its basic functionality. Leathermans were some of the first, to my understanding, to actually offer the functionality of being able to open the knife and some of the main components that you might use most often without actually completely opening up the multi-tool. It's hard looking through a camera. There we go. And have that functionality. You have the knife, the serrated edge, and the saw blade, and then a file. And to be honest with you, I use none of those ever. I've had this for a long time. I'm going to talk about that in a little while, give it its testimony, my testimony to it. But I basically never use those. What I use the most often is the pliers. That right there is really the selling point of this in particular for me personally, is to have those pliers on board. Other things I use relatively frequently is the detachable Phillips or flathead little screwdriver attachment. Like that can be super handy. That can be incredibly handy actually when you're doing any kind of a project or you're say at work and you simply need to tighten up a loose screw, and Lord knows we've all got enough loose screws, right? That I use fairly often. Next to the pliers, I would say this is the next most useful to me, at least in my time. Of course, you have the bottle opener, or can opener rather, / bottle opener, every once in a while. Then you have a pretty set large flathead. That's super handy. I use it fairly frequently. And every once in a while, you do have the reversible, the fine tip Phillips Blade. Gosh, I bet I can't even get that to focus. That's actually the flathead side. And then it's got the Phillips Blade side. It's what some people would call like an eyeglasses screwdriver. That I have used before. And the scissors I occasionally use. Very rarely. The scissors are in there as well. To me, 100%, it's the screwdrivers and the pliers themselves that are the most handy. And then the wire cutter is right here. I use that fairly frequently in my job. Fairly frequently, not frequency. But yeah, so that's the basic overview of this tool. It breaks down, folds up, and goes into this little case. You might think like, hey, you're talking about some kind of a testimony about this old tool that you have that's been around forever, and that looks like a new case. Well, that is a very astute observation, and that is why I made this video. This is the third case I've had to buy for this tool because the tool has outlasted the cases by a long shot. They always wear out. So I didn't say that to complain about the quality of the case. The cases are actually pretty solid. The point is, the fact that I've been through 3 cases made me realize how old this tool is. I've had this tool for 12 years now. And as I got to thinking about that, I was like, that is a testimony in itself to this product because this is an everyday use thing for me. I've remodeled and renovated houses my entire adult life. For probably 6 of the years that I've owned this, I had my own lawn care business with lots of equipment that required constant maintenance on the job. While you're out there, a screw rattles loose, something goes wrong. This has saved my tail so many times, but it's gotten everyday use. It's taken a lot of abuse as well. It's been on search and rescue missions. It's been on search and rescue exercises. It has been soaking wet multiple times. I have used it as a hammer occasionally, which I don't recommend, but the point is I did it because I had to, and it's still here. It still functions exactly the way it's supposed to. Everything, even the wire cutters, I don't have any wire here to show you, but even the wire cutters are still sharp, and that's something I use actually relatively regularly inside the pliers here. And I mean, to be honest, it doesn't look much older than brand new. Like, it still looks darn near as good as the day I got it 12 years ago. This thing has seen some use, it's seen wear and tear, and it still functions every single day. Now I deliver for FedEx, and there's all kinds of things that go wrong in the boxes of those delivery trucks. The door mechanisms, the wire systems that hold up the shelving, nuts, screws rattle loose all the time. I mean, this is perfect when you have a cotter pin that you need to either extract or input into a situation. Like, to have something like this on your hip, everyone knows the value of a good multi-tool, but to me, the reason I wanted to make this video, the value of this multi-tool, this Leatherman original Wave, not a Wave Plus, is that it's got 12 years of real use and real abuse on it, and I still use it every day. It's still one of my favorite pieces of kit, pieces of EDC, everyday carry, that I have with me at all times. So yeah, like, here's my glowing review, because this is a product that has stood up to my, I mean, really, it's exceeded your best hopes for something. You hope you get 4 or 5 years out of something anymore. This is well beyond that, and doesn't really show any signs of slowing down. Like, I clean it out every so often with alcohol, give it a little 3-in-1 oil to lube it up at all of the joints, all the pivot points, and it still works great every time I use it. Like, yeah. I'm getting a little bit too glowing, starting to sound a little weird, starting to weird myself out a little bit. So it's probably time to wrap this up. But yeah, so Leatherman Wave, my review, one of my favorite pieces of gear ever. And this one has stood the test of time and really stands as a testimony to its durability and how well made it is. I appreciate you guys taking the time to watch this video. If you like the content that I am putting out, please like, and please, most importantly, subscribe. I sincerely appreciate all the subscriptions, all the views. You can check out more at waywardstories.com. You can find me on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, basically anywhere that's social, I'm there, and you can do it all by going through waywardstories.com and going through the social link on the page. And yeah, just really appreciate you guys. I hope to hear from you guys, and we will catch you in the next video.
We here at Studio 119 would like to remind all of you out there listening, wherever you might be, that though the hill might be steep and the trail be rocky, the mountaintop awaits. Carry on.